In a whirlwind of rapid-fire victories, Magnus Carlsen, the reigning champion, had already clinched 3 World Rapid Championships. As he geared up for his 4th triumph, everyone thought the champ was a sure thing. Carlsen had demolished Alireza Firouzja and sent Jan-Christoph Duda packing in the World Rapid semifinals, establishing himself as the unrivaled number 1. With a dazzling score of 7.5 out of 9, he seemed destined for glory. But just when Carlsen thought he had the tournament wrapped up, along came Noterbek Abdusattorov, a 17-year-old chess prodigy known for leaving a trail of shattered egos in his wake. He qualified for the Grandmaster title at the tender age of 13 years, 1 month and 11 days. This kid was a certified Grandmaster assassin, taking down heavyweights like Levon Aronian and Fabiano Caruana with a merciless precision that sent shockwaves through the chess world. And now, the unsuspecting reigning champ was next on his hit list. Noterbek wasn't merely playing chess, he was on a quest for stripping Carlsen of the title. Sure, Carlsen had a history of pulling off jaw-dropping victories at an absurdly young age, having crushed Anatoly Karpov when he was just a bright-eyed 13-year-old. But this time, Carlsen found himself underestimating the force of nature that was Noterbek. The game begins as the young Noterbek, prepared to face off against the world's best at the FIDE World Rapid Chess Championship with a first-place prize of $60,000 on the line. The match began, and the tension was palpable. Noterbek opened with c4, a move that left Carlsen pondering for a full 10 seconds before responding with knight f6. The game quickly evolved into an English opening, with the white pawns on c4 and e4, and black's knights on c6 and f6. The English opening in chess is a flexible and strategic way to start a game that aims to control the center of the board indirectly, focusing on the d5 square from a distance. It often leads to closed games, where the position opens slowly and strategic maneuvering plays a significant role. The English opening is known for its ability to transition into many different types of plays, allowing for a wide range of strategies to follow. After some more posturing moves, both players were taking it easy, scoping one another out, neither gaining any real ascendancy, with minor swapping of pieces, but both players holding strong center pawn positions. That was until Magnus Carlsen, the reigning world champion, decided to heat things up. Carlsen moved his queen forward to f6, offering a queen trade to Noterbek's queen on f3. Noterbek paused while calculating what he was willing to risk, whether he wanted to commit to an early endgame after both players lost their highly valuable queens. But he wasn't ready to fall into that trap with one of the world's best endgame players. Carlsen has a unique talent for simplifying complex positions and squeezing victories from seemingly drawn endgames. Carlsen's endgame prowess is often compared to a grind, slowly wearing down his opponents over extended periods. His mastery in this phase of the game has solidified his status as one of the greatest chess players in history. Likely based off of this realization, Noterbek declines this invitation to enter the endgame so soon, moving his queen back to d1. Carlsen, taking another moment to consider his position and failed attempt to rattle Noterbek, launched his next attack. He moved his pawn to g5 with the intention of following up with h5, threatening Noterbek's white king, safely tucked in cover behind 3 pawns after he castled earlier in the game. The game progressed, with both players trading off pieces and calculating their moves. It seems for a while that Carlsen's play to draw out those defensive white pawns might be working. The result of this momentary pause was another offer of a queen trade, which Noterbek again turns down. As the board begins to whittle down, both players taking and losing pieces in the center, Noterbek seemed quick, his moves deliberate. Carlsen, on the other side of the table, seemed to be growing uncomfortable, fidgeting with a pawn, rolling it around his hands. The young prodigy manages to advance his pawn to g6, putting Carlsen on the defensive. The game reaches a critical point now as Noterbek threatens to promote his pawn to a queen. Carlsen, realizing the danger, quickly moved to block this, his rook to g8 and his queen to h7 to take the pawn. But Noterbek was relentless, forcing a series of trades that left both players evenly matched. Despite the high stakes, both players continued to play the best possible moves, leading to a drawn position. Noterbeck worked on moving a pawn further and further across the board, while Magnus was tied up by moving his king into safety. The middle game unfolds with a flurry of moves as the players test each other's skills, searching for any advantage they can find. A good middle game in chess is characterized by strategic planning, tactical maneuvers, and dynamic piece coordination. And this game between 17-year-old Noterbeck and Magnus Carlsen was no different. The tension mounts as a series of checks ensue, with each player probing the defenses of the other. The game reaches a critical juncture as the clock ticks down to the final few seconds. In a race against time, Magnus Carlsen finds himself in a precarious situation with his king pinned down, unable to escape a relentless check delivered by his opponent's queen. With defeat seemingly inevitable, Magnus concedes, recognizing the superior play of his younger prodigy. Noterbeck had done it. He had defeated the world champion Magnus Carlsen in a style reminiscent of Carlsen's own. He took his time with the endgame, grinding out his opponent and keeping Magnus always in a reactive state, forcing him into the final ending move. This victory marked Noterbeck as a true chess prodigy at just 17 years old, even more so as he defeated Magnus using a very similar style to the world champ. Noterbeck went on to win first place and take home the $60,000 prize, and in doing so, he had become the youngest ever world champion in open competition, surpassing even Carlsen's record. So remember the name, Abdusattorov Noterbeck, the rising star in the world of chess.